How's it going? My name is John with Blackbird Productions and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be doing a walkthrough of the Tesla app for my 2024 Tesla Model 3 Performance. But this walkthrough is going to be applicable to any Tesla currently in 2024. And in your app, you might have some settings that are not there that I'm showing today, or you might even have settings in your app that are applicable for your car that I may not have. Which is why I preface this by saying this is for the 2024 Tesla Model 3 Performance. But most of the options that I'll be going over today should be present in your app as well. So without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, so this is the Tesla app, and I apologize ahead of time for the angle. It's a very weird angle and my wrist is really putting in the work right now, but I'm gonna try my best to make this viewable for the camera so you guys can see it. But anyway, this is the Tesla app. This is what you'll be greeted with when you first set up your Tesla. You'll have your car here, and then you also have access to add additional cars. To do that, you can just tap this right here and just do add product, and that would add your other Tesla if you have another car, or if you have another EV that's not a Tesla, you could actually add it on here as well. Next thing is your quick controls, which I kind of touched on in my last video. Essentially it's just quick controls, and you could customize them by tap and holding one of them and drag and dropping one of the additional controls into this cluster of controls here. And the cool thing about this is when you use the widget, at least on iOS, those actually appear up on the widget. The only thing I don't like about the widget is when you tap on the icons, it just opens up the app. So it just kind of defeats the purpose. It's kind of just like a shortcut just to get back to the app. The button still works, but it's just kind of a kludgy process. Right below that, you'll get your charging limit. You'll see I have mine set to 80%, which is Tesla's daily charging limit for all of their cars. But here you can modify that. So if you have like a longer trip or something like that, you can switch it to 99% or even 100. I usually don't go anywhere beyond 99%, but that's just me. If you have a level 2 charger or even a level 3 charger or beyond, if you're watching this video in the future, then you should be able to access your amperage through here, and modifying that will give you the most optimal charge or the most optimal voltage or electricity coming out of the wall into your car. So essentially, this will allow you to charge your car faster if you have that level 2 or level 3 charger. Right below that, you have 2 emergency options, I'd imagine. Essentially, you can stop the charge. So if for whatever reason there's like a storm or something and you don't want to short out your car or short out the cable, you could completely stop charging. If you have a malfunction with your charge port, you can unlock the charge port door, and that would effectively unlock the charge cable in your car and allow you to take it out. And right below that, you have more controls. But what's cool about this view is you could actually view the PSI of each tire without the car even running. And you also can view this if the car is like not in motion, which I thought is like pretty cool, and it's a game changer really. Just because I know with traditional cars, even to get the pressure monitoring system to work, the car's tires have to be at a certain temperature, or it has to be like actually running on the road in order for it to get a read. So I think this is pretty cool. So next, you can access your climate controls, and I don't really mess around too much with this option just because I usually just do the preconditioning option, which automatically cools down the interior when you're about to go into your Tesla. So basically what it does is, at least from what I understand, it actually preconditions the battery, and then by doing so, it actually turns on the AC or the heater in the car, however you have it set, to make the car more comfortable before you go into the car. After that, you have the option to view the location of your car. I'm obviously not going to show that just because I don't want to reveal my location, but that option is there. You can see it way right here below. I didn't scroll all the way down just because it does show your location on there, but for whatever reason, if your car gets stolen or you just lose access to it, or maybe you're coming out of a movie theater even, because I've had this happen so many times where I just come out of a movie theater and I'm just trying to find my car, this is the option for that. So next after that is schedule. And essentially what it allows you to do is schedule charging for your Tesla. So I'm going to tap on that. And here, like I said, you could precondition the battery. So you could set a schedule around that. And you could also schedule charging. So if you want to take advantage of off-peak charging hours, you can do that. And I keep trying to tap this, but actually you have to add it right here at this plus icon, and it gives you the option to choose between preconditioning and charging. I don't have this scheduled just because in my last video I talked about using level 1 charging. That's primarily what I use just because that's the only form of charging I have access to at the moment. So I don't use this just because I need the full day to charge my car. Next option is around security and drivers. So this is where you can toggle all your security controls remotely from your car. So you've got Sentry mode, valet mode, all the typical controls that you'll find in your Tesla, just in a more compact view. Here you could set a pin to drive, which is another thing I talked about in my last video. You could essentially set a pin to put the car in drive. So if the car gets stolen, then no one can take off with it without knowing the code, the passcode that you've set to drive the car. You could also do that for the glove box as well. But I don't see that option in here. But you can do it within the car. But anyway, here is where you add drivers. So if you want to add like a guest profile or a new driver to the vehicle, then you could do that through here as well. And then this is the phone key option too. So you could use your phone as the key to open the car. Among other things, you could also add additional key cards, and you could set up Bluetooth through this option as well. I've never set up Bluetooth through this option. I've only just set it up just through my settings app on my iPhone, but this might be applicable for like Android or any other phone that you might be using this app on. So the next option is around upgrades. I don't dabble around too much in this app, but essentially it gives you what's on the website already. You could upgrade the car by giving it self-driving. You could subscribe to full self-driving, and then also premium connectivity from here as well. You can do this within the car too, but they give you the option to subscribe to these and also buy them or buy one outright. I wish you could buy premium connectivity for the lifetime of the vehicle, but that just isn't the case. So next is the service option. So I've been in here a couple of times already. You'll see there's like a little blue dot here next to history. So that shows that I've been here. But essentially you can request service, you could ask a question, which what I find is when you do that option, it's just like a bot, and it just gives you like articles in terms of like information that you can view if you have like a problem or a question. So I typically use that for like just general questions, but you're not interacting with a human with that option. But anyway, here you can view your history, your maintenance history. You can view some video guides, which most of the video guides are out of date, at least as of making this video. So I haven't really dabbled too much around in that. And then you could also view the owner's manual. So those are all helpful resources that you can utilize when you're trying to figure out something or troubleshoot something in your Tesla. The last option is an important one. This is essentially your roadside option. So if you were stranded like I was with a flat tire, then this would be your go-to option for putting in a service ticket to address that. Alternatively, you could also call the Tesla service line, which is provided in your car. I don't know if it's in this app or not, but it's in your car, and you could view that information and make a call to Tesla services instead of going through this app. But this app is here if you have like the additional time, or you just want to poke around in it and just see what all the options are. But they give you some preconditioned options based on, I'd imagine, like common occurrences that they come across. So flat tire being the top one, of course. There's a drivability concern, and then the charging. So if you run out of charge, my understanding is that they could actually bring a loaner car or some sort of station to you, and they can just charge your car and give you like just enough charge to where you can get to the next supercharger or something along those lines. Nonetheless, it's cool that you can use these options within the app. I'll say the last bonus option, not particularly with this view, but if you scroll down further where your controls are, like where your buttons are on the main screen, you could actually see your VIN number, the amount of miles are on the car, and you could see the actual model of the car. I'm not going to show that for obvious reasons, but you can view that information there, which I think is also pretty cool. One last thing I forgot to mention was this hamburger style menu here. There's not really a ton of useful information on the main screen of that hamburger menu, but when you go to your profile, that's where you can modify some of the settings that you have in your profile. If I remember correctly, there was a data opt-out option on the security and privacy section, but either my memory is fuzzy or that option just completely disappeared. But I do remember going into here and opting out of analytics on the app. So maybe that could be something you guys could look into, and let me know in the comments if you've come across that as well. Other than that, this is where you can set your notifications. So you can modify some of the notifications coming from the vehicle, as well as your communication preferences with Tesla marketing, which it's gonna probably prompt me to sign in, so I'm just gonna get out of that. And here you could also reset your driver's profile if that's something you want to do, or if you're selling the car. I think that might be applicable for something like this. There's also a charging tab on that menu screen, and it's the main menu screen that I keep referring to. The reason why I'm not showing is because it does show some person identifiable information on there, and I'd rather not show that in this video. But this is the charging tab, and essentially what it shows is your last charge at a supercharger. And here you could actually add a preferred credit card to accessing the supercharger, because contrary to common belief, superchargers are not free for the new Tesla models. I want to say the 2016, 2017 Model S have like unlimited lifetime charging or something like that for superchargers. But all the newer models that I know of, at least, you have to pay for Tesla supercharging. And sometimes it's either matching the price of gas that day or it's more than gas. It just depends on your location and the demand for charging at that specific location. That's what I'm finding, at least. But that's just food for thought as you're shopping around for a Tesla. The other thing, at least in my state, you can actually sign up for a monthly subscription to access the Tesla supercharger network if you have a non-Tesla vehicle. So that's convenient because most of the public chargers suck here. They are glitchy, or they just don't give a charge, or they just like software bugs, stuff like that. I've encountered it all because this isn't my first EV. So definitely helpful. I don't like the fact that they're just making it a subscription, but it's there if you want to utilize it. So that is today's video. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you thought this video was informative, I definitely would appreciate it if you leave a like on the video. And also leave a comment. Let me know what your favorite feature is from the app. I'd love to know. Also consider subscribing. I make 2 Tesla videos per week, and I have a plethora of other content that I'm working on currently. And I'm also still working on that review that I've been touting for the past like couple videos now. But I really hope that I'll be able to finish that by the end of this week. So that would actually effectively be the second video for this week. Maybe 3, I haven't really decided yet. But usually I make just 2 videos a week. This week might be an exception though. So definitely stay tuned for that. So with that, thank you so much for watching. This has been John with Blackbird Productions, and I'll see you in the next video.